unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Yes. Yes. Ryan Garcia reacts to Devin Haney's victory. He says he'll rematch Ryan, says he'll rematch Devin, and he'll do it again. So in this video, we're going to talk about Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, part 2. What would happen? What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. It is time to get unpacked, which is my original series, and we got some good stuff to talk about. First, congratulations. Devin Haney became a champion in a 3rd weight class, defeating Brian Norman. Now, I have almost a 40-minute video breaking down Brian Norman losing his title to Devin Haney. In my other series, what really happened? Check that video out. Subscribe. All the videos are up on my page. Moving on. Now the world wants to know what's next for Devin Haney. I've already addressed my opinion, but for the new fans who may be tuning into me for the first time or didn't catch the video, I named 2 scenarios. For me, I'm assuming he wants to stay at 147, where he just became a champion. He had a good performance with Norman, got a knockdown, said the weight cut is good. So we'll use 147. I've already told you 147 is like a wasteland right now. Normally in boxing, it's been considered a glamour division, but in recent times, the big quality names have already moved up. Guys like Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, Virgil Ortiz, Keith Thurman, and recently Jerron Boots Ennis. So Brian Norman and Barrios were like the big name champions in the division. And you also have Rolly. So for me, they're talking about Ryan fighting Barrios. So I think Devin should fight the winner of that. Or Conor Benn, who just fought and he looked good in the rematch, made some adjustments with Chris Eubank Jr. I also feel Chris Eubank Jr. was drained, but that's not Conor Benn's fault. You agreed to the weight, you showed up, you signed on the dotted line, get this work. Conor Benn did his part, dominated, badly hurt Chris Eubank in the final round, and he says, I'm done. There is no trilogy. The Ben Eubank saga, it ends right here. I'm happy I set history for the family name. Finally got a win over the Eubank, and it's a good stopping point. So he's looking to go back down to 147, right? And now Barrios is likely to fight Ryan Garcia. Conor Benn going back to 47, and he said he wants to get a title. And you have Devin, who just became a champion. He already beat Brian Norman. Based on the fight, there's really no need for a rematch anytime soon. What Devin said actually happened. He said, I'm experienced, there's levels, I've learned from my journey, and he's not on my level, and that was shown. There was a big experience gap, there were mistakes made, and really the Normans had a very flat performance. In boxing, you can't talk to that caliber and not deliver, or to deliver that type of performance. Now, the reason why I think people are quote unquote abandoning the Normans is because it was a major disappointment how you performed. Not even the fact that you lost, because all losses in boxing are not considered equal. You know what I mean? You could lose, like Sean Porter had losses with Errol Spence, Keith Thurman. Those were respectable. Kell Brook, people weren't looking at him. They were still considering him a top dude. But if you lose like Broner lost to Maidana, for example, that's not going to hit the same, right? So there's more embarrassing losses, and there's losses where you still, like Caleb Plant losing to David Benavidez, David Morrell losing to David Benavidez. Those losses weren't like what Benavidez just did to Yard. Yard got tore up. He got hit with the same punch 18 times in a row, like bop, 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 with the same hand. That looked crazy. Caleb Plant put up a good fight. David Morrell definitely put up a good fight with Benavidez, even dropped him, right? So that's just that. Devin beating Brian Norman after all the build-up and stuff. Devin gets to talk his talk. He gets to talk his ish. But the Normans, it looked bad because, again, the way the Normans were talking, right? They had a big opportunity to, Devin was the bigger name, which we already knew, right? He was the bigger name, and they had the opportunity to do something. And if they were to do something with Devin Haney, based on how they conducted themselves, because I told you they were winning the pre-fight banter, but Devin Haney won the war, right? They came in with the ATL slick talk. They were doing interviews. So the stage was set. They just had to deliver. And Brian Norman, unfortunately, wasn't ready and couldn't. And the boy from Atlanta, Devin had him looking like an AT alien or whatever. That's word to Outcast. His eye was all bashed up. He got dropped. He got hurt. Stanky leg. You know. Push that buzz. Everybody move to the back of the buzz. We the type of get crunk in the club, right? He gave you that AT aliens. That Rosa Parks. That bombs over Baghdad. Yeah, I do the thing and let it slump national underground thunder pounds like Amelia Elephant, silverback gorilla. You can't stop the train. Right? He gave you that Andre 3000. Me and you, yo mama and yo cousin too, rolling on strip on Vogue. No, in the Cadillac. You dig. So good on Brian Norman for trying, but Devin Haney had your number that night, right? Eddie Hearn and other people been hating on it. I've already gave my thoughts on that. Check those videos on the page as well. You got to know what you want in this game. You know, you can't criticize Devin Haney. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to say whatever I want. But for me, I don't think it's fair to criticize Devin for the Ramirez performance, which I think warranted criticism. See, that's how fair I am. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie and sugarcoat it. I'm just going to keep it real. The Ramirez performance, like, it wasn't a great showing. Even Shane Mosley, who helped Devin prepare for that fight, and they said he wrecked his house or whatever, but Shane Mosley was like, he wasn't doing the stuff like he was looking in camp great, and he wasn't doing and implementing the stuff in ring, but he stepped it up. Brian Norman was considered a bigger threat, big power, and, you know, he stepped it up and fought different. So people like Eddie Hearn, it looks real snaky. Like, you were working with the kid. You were working with him, and then now you're not working with him, and now you're trying to push Conor Ben, and, you know, you got your own AJ, Jake Paul fights lined up and whatever. So you done threw Devin Haney to the wolves. And this was your old, you know, roster. But I feel like that's kind of what Eddie Hearn does. He has a toy, and then he breaks the toy, and then he'll just go off to a new one. Like, at one point, it was Kell Brook. He was really pushing Kell Brook for the big fights, but then Kell Brook started getting beat up by Golovkin. Hell no, guys. Hell, Max is not. Guys, nothing. Right? He started getting beat up by Triple G and Arrow and, you know, dealing with things outside the ring and losing. And he just went to AJ. AJ started losing. Then he rekindled with Canelo. Then he jumped to Canelo. Then Canelo left, went to PBC. and he jumped to whoever, Conor Ben or whatever. You know what I mean? So, and Boots. And then when he got Boots, he kind of started dissing Devin Haney more. So, a little bit shaky, if you ask me. You cool with the man, and then like when he's paying you and you getting a cut of his money, but then now you ain't got nothing nice to say. So anyway, enough of that. I've already talked about that in a previous video. I don't think it's fair to criticize somebody for thing A and then they improve what you just criticized them for, and then you bring up something else. You know what I mean? Like the whole world was like Devin Haney ran versus Ramirez. Cool. He didn't really run with Norman. The haters and the race fans, they gonna say he ran and all this goofy stuff. He was right there in front of Brian Norman. Eddie Hearn's talking about Devin didn't engage, but I just showed you Brian Norman's face. So how his face look like that, AT aliens, if Devin didn't engage, right? So the bottom line, and I've said this for years, is they perpetuate these lies against black fighters. They being like old media, right? They perpetuate these lies, marginalize black fighters. Black fighters get coined yellow belly, coward, scary, don't want to engage, runners. Also some Cuban fighters, especially the dark-skinned Cubans, right? And you see that floating through the race fans, they stay on that. But when you look at it, if we're being fair, you look at Kambosos' face, especially after the second Devin fight. You look at Lomachenko's face after the Devin Haney fight. It looks like these guys were in a fight. So, people are like, oh, he pillow fisted. And they're like, oh, they're overplaying it, I guess you could say. And I'm not going to get into semantics because a lot of people believe Devin lost to Lomachenko. I'm not even here arguing that. But people are like, oh, he ain't had no power. He's too pillow fisted. Devin's face was literally cleaner than Lomachenko's face. Boom. So Lomachenko, no matter who you thought won the fight, Lomachenko's face was looking more touched up than Devin Haney, if we're being fair and we're being realistic, right? That's the reality. His face, he was looking touched. Omarion. Touch, boom, boom, boom. Touch, doom, doom, doom. Something like you. Oh, he was looking touched up. So we gotta, my thing is this. These narratives are fake when they don't make sense anymore. Like, oh, he ran the whole fight. But why Loma face look like that? He ran the whole fight. Like, why Brian Norman face was lumpy? You know what I mean? Like, we gotta make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, leads me to my other choice. Conor Ben would be a good fight for Devin. Ryan Garcia rematch. Particularly if Ryan gets a belt by beating Mario Barrios, because it looks like that fight's already done. So that is the strong play. Ryan, the ball is in his court and the pressure's on him. Devin already fulfilled his goal by becoming a champion in the third division. Ryan, however, has never been a champion. He's pulled out of fights. He's missed weight. He's popped dirty. These are all factual pieces of information. Ryan says, oh, it was tainted and all this. The fact of the matter is you popped, you got suspended, you pulled out for anxiety before, you got beat by Tank, you're not undefeated, right? You had canceled fights with Ampo, and you've never been a champion. Those are the facts. I deal in facts. So if anyone's like, oh, but Boxing Ego, it's not like, I don't care. I'm dealing with facts. Like, I treat it like a court case. If you ain't talking about facts, you ain't talking about nothing. Those are the facts. Ryan popped. Everything I said was a fact. So The onus now, because Devin cleared Norman, the onus is on Ryan Garcia. He need to get through Barrios if that's his next task and finally become a one-time champion. I don't care about no like fake belts. I'm talking about like a full body belt. He's never had that ever. Devin's been the youngest undisputed and all this. He's been a champion really in each division he's touched at this point. So 35, 40, 47. Now we'll get into what Ryan said. And like I said, the pressure is on Ryan because realistically, you just lost to Rolly, right? You just lost to Rolly and you're already being, because your popularity or whatever, politics, your promoter, you're already being afforded an opportunity to fight for a title coming off a loss where you lost horrible performance, lost every round and got dropped and hurt and then looked gun shy. Like for real, if I'm being honest, the way Brian Norman fought after he got dropped is how Ryan fought Rolly. Like, I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. But nobody's made this comparison in the parallel. But I've made several because I really know this boxing game. When Errol got dropped by Crawford in the second round, it was like almost over from that moment. Rolly, I want to say it was the second round, but don't quote me on that. Rolly dropped Ryan hard, I want to say in the second round. And then from the rest of the fight, Ryan looked out of it. Like he had checked out. Like he knew if he got too froggish that there's a strong chance to get dropped, embarrassed, or hurt or knocked out. So Ryan, he didn't really do much for the rest of the fight. That's pretty much what Devin Haney, who's not considered a puncher, did to Brian Norman. Dropped him, and then after, it looked like Brian Norman was shook. And he was rather rattled as far as how to approach, how to get close. Because when you don't think somebody can hurt you and they surprise you and they drop you, then you look crazy because you didn't even think this was possible. And then you just got embarrassed in front of all these people, in front of all the cameras. So now it could mess with your psyche a bit, right? Now you got to think like, man, if I get out of line, he gonna drop me again. So pressure's on Ryan. Roll the clip.
You heard what Bill said, right?
He said
after the fight, he said you beat Barrios and you got a belt and it's a wrap. They're gonna fight you next. So
let's go. It's a big wrap. I want that. I really want all that smoke for real. I'm just tired of the narrative of them saying if he didn't cheat, if it didn't, brotherfucker, I didn't cheat, bro. Cheating is when like I'm taking steroids to have an advantage. If I had attained this, and if people actually do their research, Ostarine is probably one of the most found supplements in these over-the-counter supplements. So like for people to try to run with the, I know it's the trolls, but anybody who actually looks into it knows I had no actual advantage. And even the Haneys know that. But if they want to walk into the fight with that delusion, let them do it, because I will give them a reality check once again. And, I'm not going to be nice to them. Again, they think I'm going to be nice. I'm not going to be nice to them. Same treatment, same ass whooping, and same mentality. I'm coming in, fucking you up, and that's it. And I'm leaving. I know you better than you know you, and that's it. The only one that's going to try to save Devin is Bill. Once again, he's going to have to save him, because Devin he just can't beat me. Like, no matter what we do, how you set it up, I will always beat that man. Like he's
I'm not going to lie. When he got that knockdown, I was like, he probably should get tested after the fight, because that was such an anomaly.
Bro, he always looks like he's on steroids. So
it was such an anomaly. When does he knock people down?
I'll let him have steroids. He won't beat me still. He could have all that shit all you want. Bro, at the end of the day, this is boxing. He's not going to beat me.
Wow. So in the social media spaces, that was what Ryan had to say. He was like, he could do whatever. He can't beat me. He's not capable of beating me. He don't have what it takes to beat me.
Yeah, worst he's ever looked in his life. Yeah, and Errol, when the fuck has he last boxed? And he's suing Derek.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think
fuck him. I know he's a stand-up guy. Yeah, he's a stand-up guy, but he ain't the guy to be in your corner, Ryan. Get Joe Goosen.
I mean, he's not going to be in my corner my next fight. I think we made
yeah,
that.
but it should, bro. It should. Right, listen. I
know
like
what
you,
this
Ryan.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm actually backing you up with these points. But people
Thank
are coming on here and saying you got no trainer, you train at home, and you don't prepare for fights because
Again,
last
you
fight,
know what I
said,
take when people say things like that. It's
yeah, but
like
how am I supposed to back?
you
how
know
am I
what
supposed to
you know
back
what
you
it
up?
is.
Yeah.
It's
When
a
you're
fart in the
tweeting that
wind,
you
bro.
train at
It
home.
smiles for a little bit, then it goes away. I don't give a fuck what people say. They could
Yeah,
say all
but
they
bro,
want,
you're
but
training at home. Ryan, you was in the
you don't,
Canelo
bro.
gym, yeah.
I post videos of me hitting the mitts at home. You don't know
Yeah,
what
but
I'm working
Ryan,
on.
you was
That's
in the
what I'm saying.
Canelo gym, yeah, from a
This is
young age,
crazy.
yeah.
When I was 19,
That's how
yeah.
people knew your name, from sparring, from beating people up, boy.
Exactly, 100%.
I
But
want to
again,
see that, Ryan. I don't want to see no fucking Derek Ryan and that. You know what I mean?
you're funny, bro. I
I'm
understand what
being
you're saying.
honest, bro. I like you, brother. You
You
want me
made
to
your point.
bullshit or what?
You made your point. I want to continue the subject of the Devin Haney fight, though. You know, this was.
Yeah, but brother,
I
how
want
are you
to
gonna
hear
beat? Right,
everybody
listen to me, Ryan.
else's
Yeah,
reaction.
how are you gonna beat? How are you gonna beat Devin Haney
Boot this
with
drunk
Derek
ass
in your
bitch
corner?
British motherfucker, yo. The fuck is he
Oi.
on? He been blabbering for fucking 20 minutes.
I had to remove him. I had to remove not because
Wow.
dude
Bum, he's
bro was just
blabbering.
staying off a topic. I ain't gonna lie, bro was just not it, bro. He was not
Wow.
it. But he was cool. I get what he was. He probably had a good heart for sure, but again, a little too probably sporadic for me right now.
He's blabbering, bro.
Big time. He said the same thing 5 times. I'm like, oh, I heard you. Like, we're good. Relax. What do you think about the fight?
I was
A sneaky power is just can he catch you? And look at the thing is his shot is a shot that if you don't see it can stun you, but usually doesn't drop you. That's what I'm saying. Like usually it don't drop you, but I guess Norman just I don't know. Like I got caught with the same shot in the 3rd round, but I was able to bounce back like pretty quick. Like I was like, all right, let's fucking go. I don't know what happened. And Norman looked like he was in La La Land for a second. I don't know how Haney didn't get him out of there. That's what I don't get.
because it's not him, bro.
He don't have a killer instinct. That's for sure.
He tried. I mean, he
Man.
fucking tried after he got that knockdown, but
Yep. I guess.
I was shocked, man. Like the knockdown, I could have sworn like Norman was gonna get him out of there by like the 8th or 9th.
I know Haney was super happy. He's like, I'm about to get a knockout for the first time in 10 years. Let's go.
Like, I'm not.
Hey, that's kind of funny.
I'm not even gonna lie, bro. That was
You were-
actually shocking.
He was
Hey, yo,
definitely happy.
Brian, what's good?
Yeah, what's good, Punish?
But you heard
Good.
what Bill said, right?
He said
After the fight,
like he said something.
I'm not gonna lie. When he got that knockdown,
Is Bill once again. He's gonna have to save him. Because Devin he just can't beat me. Like, no matter what we do, how you set it up, I will always beat that man. Like, he's
Dang.
I'm not gonna lie. When he got that knockdown, I was like, he
Jabs. Ever since your fight, even though he had a great performance, you got to give him a lot of credit for it. Yesterday, but
Yeah.
he adjusted his game. He's not highly comfortable in throwing the jab like he used to because you counter the jab with your left hook. So
Yeah.
in the last 2 fights, he's no longer the Devin Haney. That's not his primary arsenal. But credit to him because he
the thing-
adjusted.
It's going to make it easier to close the gap on him, for sure. And the thing about Norman, he never set up the hook. He just jumped in with the hook and thought he was going to land it. Like, anybody
definitely was doing
is
that.
going to see that. I mean, you're not even trying to, like, fake a jab. You're not
Yeah,
even
he
trying
didn't
to
disguise it.
set anything up. It was just so obvious.
thing is, if I'm not mistaken, I think Haney stunned him with the left hook and then put him down with the right straight.
Yeah, he caught him.
That's
caught
what
him
happened.
He caught him with the same shot he caught me in the 3rd round. If you remember our fight where I stunned a
I
little bit,
remember that.
he caught Norman with the same shot, but Norman couldn't recover. It was like he just was, like I told you, he was in La La Land, and then the right hand just kind of put him down. But
And he looked small, bro. Norman, like during the face-offs, it was they
definitely
looked
looked
similar,
way
but in the
small. I told
ring,
you, Devin Haney's big, bro. He's not a little dude. He probably walks around 180.
like Norman looked small, bro.
Definitely.
Norman was
Definitely
highly
small.
manufactured. That's what it is.
I told everybody who had an ear to listen was he's too inexperienced.
Wait, you think there was a rehydration clause in that or not?
Nah, I don't know. I really don't. But I know that I made money, right? I made 50 grand. I made
I saw your bet, bro.
Yeah, I made a lot of people
This
money.
motherfucker betting on the ops. That's crazy.
Bro, shit. Money's money, right? Fuck it.
Right, but can I say this?
Yeah.
Because the other guy was talking about get this trainer, get this trainer.
Right.
I've always said, man, stay with your dad. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like fatherhood is prominent in the sport of boxing. You got
So at the end of the day, I'm gonna definitely show a whole different side of me and a whole different, Ryan from my last fight. And everybody's gonna change their mind and they're gonna come back and say, "Oh my God, we can't wait for you to fight Devin Haney." Like I already could see it. I could already, what do they say, manifesting it, but it's because I know the work I'm putting in, and like the confidence is different. When you actually put in the work and you actually been grinding and you know what's gonna happen, you don't care what anybody's saying.
You just gotta take care of Barrios.
Yeah.
Said he was gonna.
Oh yeah,
They gonna take you.
and guess what? I'm not gonna be shy like that. I'm calling them straight out. Yes, you, Devin. Yes, again, let's run it. No ands, ifs, or buts.
But we
I
do
will
love
say
Tequila
though,
Ryan. We do love Tequila
Tio's
Why
Ryan.
they
dad.
cutting him off, though?
Tio's dad is
Oh,
the
no,
most
it's
annoying
For me, it's either
in boxing, bro.
honestly, I either want to fight Teo, God willing, I defeat Barrios, and then I want Tio or I want Devin. One of those two. Next.
There you have it.
Man, 2026 is going.
Nah, Devin is the bigger money fight though.
Is the year for sure.
Devin's the bigger money fight though. You know that.
Devin's
'Cause
definitely going to be the bigger money fight, but just the fights I like.
Boom. So Ryan made it clear. He said it'll be the same outcome, same butt whooping, and he ain't pressed about it. My thing is this. Let's see it. That's it. Let's see it. There ain't no reason to talk. Do what you need to do and get past Barrios. You will become a WBC champion. You'll be the first champion. And then now the Haney-Ryan fight will be huge because it'll be an actual unification at that point. So Ryan, that's something the first fight didn't even have, you know what I mean? Because Ryan has never been a champion, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, this will make the fight bigger. New division, and like Ryan, the little weight trick where he missed weight, that shouldn't be the case. If you're a champion, you got more. The first fight was scheduled at 140. This is 7 pounds heavier at 147. So everybody make the weight, do your drug testing, and this is the closure people need. Ryan saying tainted meat or whatever, tainted supplement. Canelo said tainted meat. You failed. Point blank period. Gen Z, they want to get all particular. You failed a test. You got suspended. You got fined. And it blemished the fight. No contest, no decision. Period. You could say, oh, it was because of this and that. It happened. Now, boxing is giving you more chances, like it gives every person who failed drug tests before multiple chances. Gerald Miller, Dillian White, Ray Beltran, whoever, all these people that have popped dirty before, it is what it is. So Tyson Fury failed and, became champion after that in title fights, blah, blah, blah. So now let's see it. Devin has something to prove here, prove that he's gotten better. If he can win, then now it'll definitely look like Ryan only beat you because he popped. That's what people are. That's the mentality of that particular fight. But if it's deja vu and then he passes all his tests, but he still beats you, then it's going to look like Ryan just has your number and you can't beat him like he's saying. So I really like it. 2026 could be a big year and that would be a big fight. And even though Ryan lost to Rolly, found a way through Barrios and becoming a champion, and Devin, credit to him winning Ramirez and winning his fight with Norman, it still lines up. So make the fight, give boxing the closure that we need. Because I was against that Fatal Fury card. I told you, Devin and Ryan, they should have just went at it. And I told you somebody probably get upset. And guess what? Somebody did, and that somebody was Ryan Tiroli. Now, that's neither here nor there. It still makes sense. Both guys have animosity and something to prove. High stakes for both. Let's make it happen. Let me know what you think. Who would you favor in a rematch? Is Devin just a better fighter? Has he improved? You know, does the weight matter? You know, we haven't really seen Ryan at the full 147. So a lot of questions there. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Subscribe for more boxing. We Unpacked. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate. So ultimately,